Those are typical everyday carry things. A flashlight. A flashlight is a really good idea for daily carry. I use one all the time, and really it's kind of an overlooked thing that most of us are carrying a smartphone with us. And so honestly, we've begun carrying a flashlight regularly without even thinking about it. Of course, that is dependent on your phone's battery, and might possibly be you might be making the choice between do I have the battery remaining for a phone call, or do I use my flashlight? And obviously, probably you're going to need your...
Yeah, okay. It's been a year and 9 months since I made that video, and there were things that I've glossed over, things that I've changed my mind on, and things that I've added to my everyday carry. So let's get into that. Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to Tactical Review. Thanks for joining us here today, and I just thought that it was high time that I gave a look at how my EDC has evolved over the last nearly 2 years of having this channel. So, for starters, if you follow the channel on social media, within the past few months, you have seen this picture that shows you what my normal EDC would look like. Now, as I mentioned before, obviously, when a gun guy is talking about everyday carry, everybody's mind goes straight to, well, what kind of gun do you have? What kind of holster do you have? And those are important things. But I think that we're going to start once again, like I did a couple of years ago, with the discussion of the items that you can expect to have with you no matter where you are, whether you're in a prohibited area or a prohibited city or what. And so once again, you need to have car keys and house keys and those kind of things. Need to have your wallet with proper identification, etc., etc. I'm still carrying the Swiss Army knife. Still carrying the same Gerber suspension multi-tool. To that, a couple of Christmases ago, my daughter got me a Smith & Wesson knife kit, and so I've added the Smith & Wesson lockback skeletonized folder. I use this for opening boxes and letters, just kind of the everyday things that you might need a blade for. With the pocket clip, it's a little quicker to get to than the Swiss Army knife, but it also doesn't have all the extra little tools that the Swiss Army knife does. I am still carrying the first aid kit that I put together. You guys can see me discuss the contents of this on a couple of videos. We'll have cards up above for that. But a quick rundown, we have a CAT Gen 7 tourniquet, we got some nitro gloves, we've got some chemical bleed stop, duct tape and gauze for quickly creatable bandages of any size. Not necessarily what you would look at as a general use first aid kit, but definitely a mini trauma kit that I can keep right on my person. Obviously, still have a smartphone that's been upgraded, but yeah, they've become kind of a necessity in this day and age. I do know a few people that still get by with a standard old flip phone, but most of us consider smartphone to be pretty essential to stay connected. And then one other item that I did not discuss a couple of years ago, but it's absolutely part of my everyday, and I feel naked without it, is my Garmin Vivo Active 3 Music smartwatch. I'm not saying that you need a smartwatch, but the watch that you carry, you need to put some careful consideration into it. I personally optioned into a Garmin watch because, once again, if you follow the channel on social media, you see that I do a lot of outdoor activities, and so I like not only the activity tracking portion of it, but the GPS portion. As a matter of fact, out trail hiking and trail running, the GPS tracked activities have gotten me unlost on more than one occasion. So this particular one also has music storage so that I can go out on a run without having to carry a bulky smartphone around and still have music. Now then, since that time, I have added to my everyday carry. Let's start with the flashlight. I discussed this in that video, went on to dismiss it as, oh, you have a flashlight on your smartphone. The beam of this Olight i3T is brighter and more focused than the smartphone flashlight could ever hope to be, on top of the fact that it's not taking away from my phone's battery life. I do have a video on this. I've already put that card up above, and really like this little light. Runs on a AAA battery and lasts a lot longer than it has any right to. Now, with the mindset though that 2 is 1 and 1 is none, I also carry a backup to my flashlight on a beaded necklace now. And that is the i1R2 EOS rechargeable Olight, and has the same maximum brightness as the i3T. Pretty impressive little EDC light. And then at the other end of this, I have a ferro rod for striking fires. Again, I did a fire starting video. That card is up above. And I do live in north central Indiana. Right now it's the beginning of 2021 and there is snow on the ground as I record this video. So it's handy to have the ability to make fire on your person. And pursuant to that, not only do I have the ferro rod, I also carry a tin of homemade survival candles. Again, I discussed these in the fire starting video. And then to go along with that, once again, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, I also carry a plasma arc windproof lighter, because even if you don't think that you're going to be in the position to need to build a campfire for survival, there's all sorts of daily uses where a lighter comes in handy, and that coming from a non-smoker. Obviously, if you're an individual who's a smoker, you've already found a lighter to be a necessity in your daily life. So these are the items that I am going to have on my person even when I'm in a position that I can't count on being able to carry a firearm. But given the fact that as a Pro 2A guy and a guy who carries a firearm, because I believe that there may indeed come a day when the evils of this world will require me to defend my life or the lives of people that I love, or even people who are innocent to the situation, as often as I can, I do carry a firearm. And that has upgraded since I made that first video as well. I'm still carrying the mid-chassis Glock. This is my Glock 19 that I've wrapped in a handle-it grip. Have my Magpul flare magwell. It has been upgraded with a Brownell RMR cut slide. Has a threaded barrel on it from Combat Armory, and I'm running the Hollison 507C along with Ameriglow iDot Pro sights. I'm keeping that secured in my waistband with my Four Brothers IWB. This one is in the appendix configuration with the wing claw on it. Again, you want to make sure that your holster has good retention, but doesn't hold your pistol so tightly that you're not able to draw should you need it. And one item that hasn't changed is my weapon mounted light is still an Inforce APLC. Go ahead and eat me alive about it in the comments. I've got holsters for it. Holsters cost money and it's still functioning, so that's possibly not the right attitude, but here we are. Now, at the time that I made that first EDC video, I had actually just started transitioning to appendix carry and Kydex holsters, and at the time I was carrying in this Four Brothers sidecar style rig, and I have just found over the last couple of years that it was a hassle having to offset my belt buckle to accommodate having this holster at my center line, and I found it to be a little bit more convenient to have the pistol not connected to the spare mag. And your mileage may vary, and between the belt you use and exactly where you position on your body, you may absolutely prefer the all-in-one holster. What I've transitioned to, because I do still carry a spare mag, is that I am using a G-code in the waistband spare magazine holster, and I do carry a 17 round Glock 17 mag as my secondary. Now, topping it all off, down set up to grab with my support hand, I also carry a small fixed blade knife. I talked about this, I believe, in my first EDC video, and this is the Carbine by CRKT. It's a fantastically sharp, small little knife. Have this set up to grab with an outside grip. I am not an edged weapons expert. I have no desire nor intention to get into a prolonged knife fight. My intention with this blade, should I ever need to use it in a defensive capacity, is simply to make space from an attacker so that I can transition to a more primary defensive tool. Well, as you can see, that's quite a bit of stuff that I carry on my person. And so to keep it all up and where it belongs, I don't rely on just any old flimsy leather belt. I keep everything in place with the Blade Tech Ultimate Carry Belt, which is made by Next Belt. This has a nylon core to it, so that it's really a very rigid belt. And then it has this toothed adjustment system so that it adjusts in much smaller increments than the typical 1-inch adjustments that you would have on a regular leather belt. So there's a lot of different styles of carry belts out there. I'm not going to tell you what the best for you is, but I can tell you that I've been using this Blade Tech Ultimate Carry Belt for about 1.5 years now, and I've had no issue out of it. You can see, okay, it's starting to get some forming where my pistol is, but after almost 2 years, I can tell you that if this was a regular leather belt, right here at the small of my back would be starting to bow down where the leather had stretched, and the nylon core of this belt has prevented that from happening. So continue to recommend this belt to folks. I would like to check out some of their competition at some point and give it some comparison. I know that Core Essentials makes fantastic belts, and they have a similar type of adjustment system. So, and that's one thing that I had always had issues with through the years using a traditional leather belt, is that one belt loop would be substantially too tight, and then the next looser belt loop had it feeling like my pants were getting ready to fall down, and through the course of the day, with the belt being too loose, the weight of carrying a pistol in my belt line started creating hot spots around my body. So yeah, this is how I'm set up for the day-to-day type of carry, but I'm not always able to be in slacks or jeans with a belt, because once again, I try to make activity and outdoor activity a big part of my life, and since I live kind of in the middle of nowhere, I actually need to be worried about not just the two-legged, but also potentially four-legged attackers while I'm out hiking or running. And so I've come up with a solution for that. And that solution is the Glock 43X. And the card for the video on this is up above. Again, I believe that any defensive pistol should have a weapon-mounted light. And in order to get the capacity up to something I was a little bit more comfortable with, I have switched over to the Shield Arms S15 magazines, which gives me the same capacity out of the Glock 43X as what I get out of a Glock 19, in a much slimmer package that is lighter overall. And I'm carrying that in a Four Brothers holster that features an ulti-clip, which is made to clip into athletic pants, yoga pants, ladies, things like that. That said, I did find that with the athletic shorts that I typically wear, it was still dragging my shorts down when I try to go out and run or walk or go for a walk or whatever. And so I've ended up coupling this with a belly band style holster that I picked up really inexpensively off of Amazon. I would not recommend one of these belly band holsters as your only holster for a striker fired pistol such as the Glock handguns. There's nothing really preventing something from getting down in here and getting hung up inside of your trigger guard, causing an accidental discharge. It comes with an elastic strap that goes over the back of your handgun and snaps in here. Not ideal for a good draw. You can see that I've cut that elastic strap off, and instead I actually slide this entire proper holster inside of that holster pouch in the belly band, and then I'm using this ulti-clip to clip to that, and once it's in place on my body, I get good retention of the holster to the belly band that allows me to draw the pistol without any issue. And then it has a little spare pouch here where you can carry identification with you. You can carry a spare mag if you like, possibly pepper spray. But it makes a pretty good compromise for me to be able to have a firearm with me while I'm in athletic gear that wouldn't allow for my typical EDC. So guys, I appreciate you watching. I hope this information has maybe helped you think out items that you're not carrying, that you should be carrying. And I'm interested to know if there's anything that I've overlooked that you are carrying. You can go ahead and let me know down in the comments. But guys, I appreciate you taking some time hanging out with me here today. If you're interested in supporting the channel in any way, the easiest way to do that is just go down below the player, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you ring that notification bell so you see when I upload new content. Beyond that, if you want to go a little further, you can head over to store.tacreview.com, pick yourself up a t-shirt, maybe some stickers, and keep checking back because we're continually adding new merchandise to the store. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can help us out over at Patreon or Subscribestar. Even $1 a month helps. We really appreciate our direct contributors over there. If you're not following the channel on social media, you should be doing that. We've recently expanded, and we are now on Facebook, Instagram, Parler, and MeWe. So you see that username up on your screen, go ahead and join over there. You'll get some behind the scenes pictures of content and items that we're filming, and plus just all sorts of stuff, and a good way to communicate directly with us and give some input into the direction of the channel. Well guys, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you for going on 2 years of support. And until next time, shoot straight, stay safe.